Hey there, James from Dimensional Insight again. As you can possibly tell, my office mate Perseus recently joined a dating app. They asked him what attributes he found attractive in a slime monster. He asked me what to put, but I just really didn't have any good ideas. But that did remind me of today's video, Essential Attributes in Stamps. So with that, training, over to you.
In this video, we'll discuss some of the universal attributes that can be used to specify components within the stamp grammar. These attributes include the attributes used by all component types, as well as the time range attribute, which is used by multiple components, including indicators and charts. The common attributes are position, size, style, and click actions. These attributes work with all the component types, including charts, indicators, texts, any portlet type within the regular non-stamp dashboards. The first attribute we'll talk about is position. Position defines where in the stamp the component will sit. If you want the component in the upper left corner or the lower right corner, the position is where this would be specified. There are two sub-attributes, top and left. Top specifies how close to the top of the stamp you want the component to appear. So this sub-attribute is used to raise or lower the component. Left specifies how many pixels from the left edge of the stamp the component will appear. So you would use it if you want to adjust the component left or right. So you would set the position and then set the sub-attributes top and left. The next attribute we'll talk about is size. Size has two sub-attributes, width, which is the integer pixel width of the component, and height, which is the pixel height of the component. You set this just like the position, where you set the size and then the width and the height. The style tag defines visual properties such as font, font size, and font weight, as well as background information. In our example, you can see that we've set the background color, the font size, and the weight, in this example, bold. Let's do a quick demonstration of this. Here we have our example year-to-date chart stamp. The first component we've defined here is a text component. We've set our position at 10 pixels down from the top and 10 pixels across from the left. The size tag indicates how big or small the component will be. For the style, we've set a font, a size, and a weight. So if we go to the page, we can now see our stamp, which has our background information. And here's the component that we've been changing, the text for the measure name. Let's say we want to make the text a little bigger. We can go back to the stamp file, change the font size to 20, and save the file. Back on the DivePort page, I'll refresh the page. As you can see, the text just got bigger. So this is how you would adjust any part of the component within the stamp. Click actions allow you to interact with your DivePort data by clicking on a number and launching another page or action. Anyone familiar with the DivePort pages within the Measure Factory will recognize this, because all our numbers are always live. So click actions can be added to any component type. There are 5 types of click actions: Analysis, Portal Page, Crosslink, Excel, and PDF. In this video, we're focusing on the Analysis and Portal Page click actions. You can learn more about the remaining click action types in online help. Let's do a quick demonstration of click actions in our stamp. Clicking a number in a stamp typically launches the default analysis for that number. So this is going to use the Analysis click action. Clicking the Information icon launches the Measure Info page. This is true for both stamps and for non-stamp portlets. Within a stamp portlet, we do this by setting the click action to Portal Page. Both the Analysis and the Portal Page click actions allow the user to display information that resides in another page. The Analysis click action displays the additional information in a pop-up. The Portal page click action can display the additional information either in a pop-up or by taking the user to the other page. Use the Analysis click action when referencing a page that includes an analysis portlet, such as the default analysis. Use the Portal page tag when referencing a regular DivePort page, such as the Measure Info page. These click actions have several components. First, you'll set the scope, and then the label, which appears at the top of the pop-up window or page in DivePort. The page ID specifies the page that contains the information you want the click action to show. Optionally, you can set it to show a measure or a factory if you're using a DivePort that has multiple factories in it. You can also set the size of the pop-up. If you're creating a Portal page click action and don't want to display a pop-up, you can set pop-up false. So the default for a Portal page click action will be to display a pop-up, but if you add pop-up false, then it will take you to that page. So if you want the default analysis to appear for the numbers shown here, you have to set the click action for each of the components. So here we have our click action and we have analysis. We've set our scope to row because when we click on the number, it's going to launch and it's only going to use that one number. We have our label of default analysis, and then we're referencing our page and our pop-up size. So we can see here that this is our pop-up, and then that default analysis label is up here. So the label controls the text seen here. Now how do we get the quick action from this information icon? Here we have our information icon, and we're setting our image URL. We set our position, and then we can add a click action. We're setting it to Portal page because this is not an analysis. We've set the scope to portlet because we want to be able to click on the entire image portlet and launch it. The label is Measure Info, and then we're referencing our page ID, our pop-ups, and then we've indicated that we want to show whatever measure is clicked on. So then we click here, and we can see our label Measure Info, and it takes us to the correct page. So the other main type of click action is cross-link. This click action links two portlets that are on the same page. So if data is updated in the first portlet, the click action triggers the second portlet to change. This click action has the following components. You can use the scope or the label, and this is not commonly used currently. So for more information on how this click action works, and for information on the Excel and PDF click actions, please see online help. Now let's talk about the time series attribute. Although this attribute will not work for every component, time series is a common attribute that allows you to select the time range a component looks at. This is available for any component that includes a value tag, that is, the indicator, chart, matrix, and measures portlets. So for time series, we mainly use our basic time series. This defines the measure value as a basic time series column. There are two sub-attributes to this. You set the range, and that specifies the date range, such as year to date, the complete year, or, as shown here, the complete day. You also set the variation. So this specifies the time period, such as current or previous. Here we're looking at previous. So this would get us the previous day, so yesterday. Here is a list of all the ranges and the variations that can be used. You can see we have a number of ranges, such as year to date, year to complete month, complete year, complete week, complete day, rolling 12 months, and more. For variation, we can also look at anything for the current, for the previous year, and then the comparisons, the current versus previous year, and the percents. Now let's see how this works. Here's our year-to-date value indicator component, and we're looking at the time series, which has a range of year-to-date and a variation of current. So when we go to the stamp, this value will show us the year-to-date value for the current year. For our comparison value indicator component, we have a year-to-date range with the previous variation. So when we go to the stamp, this value will show us the year-to-date value for the previous year. So here we have our year-to-date value indicator with the range YTD-TD and the variation C for current. And here's our comparison indicator with the range YTD-TD, year-to-date, and the variation P for previous. In addition to the basic time series, there are also 4 types of advanced time series: absolute, relative, to date, and comparison. These time series attributes can be used within stamps as well as within the non-stamp portlets. More information on these time series attributes can be found in the online help. So the attributes position, size, style, and click actions can be used for all components, while the indicator, chart, matrix, and measures components can use the time series attribute. Each component and attribute has its own options and requirements, so we encourage consulting the help documentation for more information.
In the end, Perseus decided on viscosity as the most important attribute in a slime monster. Who knew? But it looks like it worked. He's got a date. I hope this video worked for you. If it did, click on the like button and hit subscribe below for more just like it. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. That's it for this time. We'll see you in the next video.